my college years as the decade of excellence.
There you go. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Codex Station's Comic Character of the Week. I'm your host tonight, Sal the Slab Guy. Joining me as always,
Already there.
Dan the Kelly Art.
What's up?
There we go. The Ric Flair comics right over there.
Woo!
Our high evolutionary J-Dub. There we go. Wait, Ham's already on?
Hey, you know what? I would take a copy of Hulk 180 without the value stamp.
Same here.
It don't bother me.
Y'all got that so quick. I'm like trying to like pronunciate what MVS was. Like it's too early for me.
Should I cut the Marvel value stamp out of mine so it's acceptable?
Yeah,
You know what
go
you
ahead.
should do, Gary? You should go cut all the Marvel value stamps out of all your books. Couldn't you like mail them in for something?
Well, I have the book. Now, do we know what Marvel stamp is in that book?
I did at one point, but I don't remember anymore.
Spider-Man.
I know it's something that's not related to it at all.
Something that's related to Kazar.
Oh yeah, is it
It's not
Zabu?
Nope, Shauna.
Shauna? Okay.
Shana.
Yeah, was it just that you collected the value stamps, or could you like mail them in for something?
You could, and the story with the value stamps is this was Stan's idea, and Roy Thomas, who was with Marvel Times, says, "But you have to cut it out of the comic book." And Stan said,
What's
"Yeah."
up, Chris?
And Roy's like, "But you have to cut it out of
yeah.
the comic book."
I've heard that story.
Yeah.
Well, 'cause at the time, they didn't have quite the collecting value then that it does. I mean, it did, but not like it does now. Stan probably looked at it as like, yeah, it means they'll have to buy 2 copies of the book, one to cut the stamp out and one to keep.
Not even that. Stan was always the advocate of like roll it up, put it in your back pocket, play with it. Damn it, like dang it, it's readable. Like I remember real quick because Baltimore's this weekend, obviously when I met Starlin there.
Mm-hmm.
I had my Infinity Gauntlet 1 in the bag and board, and he's like, I don't understand why you guys do this. And I was like, what? And he's like, you put it in this bag, you board, you pull it out all nicely, like comics are meant to be loved like that. I'm like, oh, trust me, this thing got read more than 10 times. Like I just want to make sure that I have it for the rest of my life to read. And he's like, well, that's a fair point, but still. Yeah, I'm like, have you walked through the con to see how much this book's worth? Like, I don't want to keep coming back to buy $50.
That's why you buy the trade, and you never have to open your original, and you can have it in perfection.
Oh, I know. I used to have the trade. I don't know what happened to it.
You can read them and still take care of them. I've got books that I've read multiple times that are still in great condition.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris got the transit. Yeah, Gary, you should go all the Marvel value stamps out of your books, and then mail them in and wait for them to send you the.
So about 2 years ago, Marvel put out a book. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I remember they put the book out again.
It's a nice book. It's a great book. Talks about it. And they did 2 waves of these. The second wave you put together, and they formed a bigger picture.
You don't staple it, Pam. You glue it. Come on.
There's another thing that's kind of
Hot glue.
interesting for that. There's some of the Simpsons comics. Have you guys heard of the
Oh,
Bart
yeah.
code?
Yeah.
So if you guys have it, Jamie obviously has. I don't know if you guys have. So in the little box where they would put like the barcode, in some of them, it was 4 books, I think. It was the Bartman code, and they had a picture of Bartman and Bart dressed up as a superhero, and they broke it up into 4 pictures, so they had a quarter of the picture in each of these little boxes. But since it's in the
Mr. Keith, I can't put that on the screen.
box that's in the corner, it's not like you could just match them all up and they put together. It would just be cool to have them. But they did, the books they put them on, they didn't put them on all the copies of each book. It was just some. And then, so those are kind of rare. And then, some are more rare than others. And I think, remember, Sal, we were talking to, Manu from 9.9. I think it was when we were on because I brought it up to him.
Yeah.
And I was talking to him at one point and I said, maybe one reason they're so rare is because, again, they're Simpsons comics. Nobody thought of them as collector things. How many do you think people got them and just cut the little boxes out of them so they could put all 4 together to have the little picture?
Yeah. But Mr. Keith, hello, by the way. Don't put it up.
Mr. Keith.
Take it up.
Oh.
Okay.
So,
Why?
We'll get demonetized for that one.
was that
Oh.
Chris?
No, that was Mr. Keith.
Oh,
Hold
Mr.
on,
Keith.
I gotta see
Woo!
what he said
Mr.
now.
Keith came strong with the codpiece
Yeah,
character the other day too.
I know.
Here, I'll send it to you,
Fantastic
Gary.
cheeseburgers.
Yeah, I was gonna send it to it. Yeah, those cheeseburgers got to be mighty fine. If it's the cheap ones though, I'd be kind of scared.
Don't you remember that? Don't you remember that old Belushi Saturday Night Live skit? Cheeseburger, cheeseburger, cheeseburger.
No Coke.
No Coke. Pepsi. No Coke. Yep.
Oh god.
No
All
hamburger,
right.
cheeseburger.
All right, guys. Let's get some business out of the way so we can get this show rolling.
I just
All right.
texted it to you, Gary.
Thank you.
I was gonna do it, but Dan beat me.
There you go. All right, guys. You know me. I'm the host tonight, Sal the Slab Guy. When I'm not here on the Codex Station, check me out on YouTube under Sal's Comic Corner or Instagram as the Slab Guy 77. Down below is Dan the Kelly Art, the master of Instagram himself. Dan, why don't you show him what you got going on? You have anything going on?
Dan's like, I'm bringing it to Baltimore.
Oh,
for
I haven't
Packaway.
posted it yet, but I did another Batman sketch cover, a Hush one, so I'm going to try and get Jeff Loeb to sign it. So I haven't
But is
posted
it
on my
Hattush
page
or is
yet,
it Hush? Oh, Hattush. Okay.
That's awesome. I love it.
but
That looks
thank you.
great.
So I'll,
Dude, you do so good when it comes to like extra detail. It's not even
The
fun.
shadowing, I think.
I appreciate
shadow.
it. I sent it to Sal when I had the pencils, and he's like, "Are you going to make the gun darker?" And I actually did think about it, but then I was like, "If I darken the gun too much, it's just going to blend in. It's going to blend in with the body, so you're not going to see it." But yeah, I haven't posted.
You know what
it
you
yet.
should have done is made it grayscale for the gun.
I thought about instead of having him holding a gun, because I saw a picture of, I guess it's a Hush action figure, and he's like holding, kind of in that pose, he's holding a knife, and I was like, that doesn't seem right. So I wanted to do the gun, and then I thought like, oh, maybe a scalpel. But then when I was kind of sketching out, I was like, nah, a scalpel's too small. It's not going to be menacing enough. So I went with the handgun. But yeah, actually, no, I take it back. I did post the pencils of this today, and I'm going to try and get Jeff Loeb to sign it this weekend. So I got 3 sketch covers I want to get signed. I want to get this one signed. I want to get, these are the first sketch cover that I ever did. I want to get Donnie Cates to sign it when I did this.
Oh, crossover. Yeah, if you get to meet him, just tell him I said he's an asshole for me, please.
Okay. I'll do that after he signs everything.
I was gonna say after he signs it.
Well, get the bumper too for me.
Yeah, I'll be like, hey, can you do a bumper that says, hey, this is Donnie Cates. You're listening to you're watching the Codex Station. I don't care that Jamie thinks I'm an asshole.
Yeah, please. And then I'll see him at C2 and I'll be like, hey, it's me. And he'll be closed down like he always is when I go up to his line.
Yeah, I got those 2, and I forget. There's one other sketch cover. Oh, it's that History of the DC Universe one where it's got like I drew 13 characters on it.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get Mark Waid to sign that. So
nice.
I will be doing that at Baltimore Comic-Con this weekend.
Yes,
Very cool.
There's a lot of heavy hitters from the podcasting world that are going to be there that I am so jealous of. So,
did you see the artist that they just announced a day or 2 ago that's going to be there?
Mm.
The artist on the original Blue Devil series.
mother,
Oh. Jamie's done for the night. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.
Garth Ennis will not be there now.
Oh,
Oh,
he's
really?
not?
No, Garth Ennis canceled.
Oh, that sucks. Well,
I'm changing my writer.
I got a banker's box full of books I
Same.
pulled out to get signed. I'll have to go take the Ennis stuff out.
Well, hopefully, yeah. So take the Ennis stuff out. Hopefully, he's okay. He's moved back to England now, so it's a longer trip for him. So
Mm,
if you're a little bit ill, that's not a trip you want to make. So
true.
Oh,
All right,
Chris
Dave.
says that he's missed you, Sal.
Oh, I miss you too, Chris. With every shot so far.
Oh yeah, they said Ace Frehley died today.
Yep.
yes,
Yep.
yes, he did.
That's our third. That's our third.
That's
How
like
many
the
short boxes?
17th.
Well,
Yeah.
Gary doesn't get individual comics signed. Gary
Yeah.
goes for the collection. So how many trades are you bringing?
I got 2 boxes full, two of those short boxes that are the plastic hard ones, full of stuff. Maybe I've got half a damn box of stuff for James Robinson. So
I got about a short box full of stuff, and I'm debating because I was gonna say like, oh well, I'll pull some stuff out to get signed tomorrow. And then I'll see, and I was like, well, what if I have the opportunity tomorrow and I don't have a good opportunity another day, and I don't have the stuff? So I think I might just put the box in my car and then just like
Eh.
go out to the car, because it's a little bit of a walk, but go out to the car and get stuff and bring it back if need be.
Right.
I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I got about a short box full of stuff, and some of it's like I really want to sign, and some of it's like, if I get this signed, cool. If not, whatever.
Whatever. All right. Do you want to introduce that guy next to you, or do you want to introduce him? Because he needs a good introduction.
Yeah.
I need to be intro.
He needs to be introduced.
I need to be sedated.
24 hours ago.
Well, when you say the
24 hours.
word, it's funny that tonight is the character that we're doing is the Punisher, because when someone needs to punish her, that's the guy for the job there.
There you go.
Bad girl.
This is as bad as Mr. Rabbit. Oh,
All right,
my God.
I'm not putting that up, Chris, but I'm going to take a picture of it and send it to Gary.
I was already... Okay, go ahead.
Did you see the other one, Gary? The one Mr. Keith sent?
Yeah, and I have no issues with that. Why didn't we put that up? It's just somebody was doing double duty. I mean, that's a talented individual.
I know. I just...
Short order cook, and
we do it to Chris. I can't just do that to Chris.
All right, Gary, I just sent you Chris's
Other text.
Yeah. If this was Saturday night, I'd be like, fine.
Yeah. We're a little bit more prime time here.
Oh shit. The earlier one, Chris has been shot at before. That is very, very true. He's had one, he was in combat, so he's heard them fly right by him. But I think that's why wouldn't Claremont do that for you, Chris?
I mean, he charges for autographs, so I mean, if you got that crisp $20 bill,
$20
sign
is
that,
$20.
it's good as-
$20 is $20.
And that would be business and pleasure for him.
You just hear him moaning as soon as he starts getting touched.
Speaking of business and pleasure.
Well, it's too bad you're not going to be there this year, Adam. There's some. I mean, even with Ennis dropping out, there's some.
Oh, there's still great talent.
Amazing creators are going to be there.
James Robinson is the one I'm the most excited about. So that's the one that does it for me. And Kubert will be there, but it's Adam, who is more of a I think he does some inking and colorist and all. So Andy's the one that's more prolific. But I'm still happy to get one of the Kuberts on that great Adam Strange hardcover book I have. But
I'm going to take the Weapon X, the first issue of the Weapon X series that he did for Age of Apocalypse. Get him to sign that. There's a.
Did he ink it or pencil it?
I think he was the original artist on Ultimate X-Men too.
Very good.
Yeah, there's a few things.
All right. Well, it's a pleasure. Come together. They intersect. Comic Logic, Loudoun County, Virginia's premier comic store. Please come and see us next weekend on October 26th. That is next weekend, isn't it?
Yes, Sunday.
Yep. Next Sunday is our fall lot con. It'll be the last Sunday before Halloween. We'll have trunk or treat for the kids, so bring them in the costumes, let them get trick or treat. There'll be comics, there'll be old comics, there'll be new comics, there'll be authors, there'll be old authors, there'll be new authors. There'll be artists. There'll be old artists, new artists. See, we have a theme here. There'll be toys that you can get. There will be tarot card readings, from what I understand. There will be you can get that Codex tramp stamp and right in the perfect place. So you can come get that. We'll have tattoo artists there. So please come see us. Family friendly. Even though Mike will be there, I'll be there, Rob will be there. Chris is planning to be there. So you might even have somebody from Codex show up. Who knows? But might have Dan or Sal show up even. So
technically, you're already there.
I'm already there. So that's true. You will have Codex.
Codex. Yeah, you and Mike be there. Chris will probably be there.
He's
is Chris Codex or is he Codex adjacent?
He's Codex adjacent.
Codex adjacent.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, he's one of our highest viewed episodes on Facebook.
He's been on multiple times. Liz will be there.
Yep.
Liz has been on before.
That's true. Yeah. That's right. So Chris gets high ratings. What can we say? Everybody wants to see the train wreck happen live, and he behaved himself that night.
I know. I was so proud.
He behaved himself.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you were dropping F-bombs.
I know.
Yeah, he did not.
I was
Chris did not.
surprised. I said I used my one I'm allowed per episode. And
You
I
had
have
more
mine
than
planned
one.
out today.
You had more than one that night.
Yeah, I
Well,
kind of
Yeah.
you did.
I had reasons to be mad.
I'm not saying you didn't. I'm just saying that you dropped a few there.
Yeah.
So come see us, Comic Logic, next weekend. Love to make your acquaintance. And also tonight we
All right, with that.
oh my God. And I told you before, comics make you strong, baby. Come get your comics from us.
No, wait a minute.
I'll be there, I'm Codex Jason. Also, give some love to Comic Character of the Day, site founded by Archduke Kevy, being run by Dan, the man Kelly over here now. You get a great cover of the day by Talking Geek. You get a great question of the day by Dan. You get a great random panel of the day, and he gives you a great character of the day. And we have been swimming in the haunted waters of Halloween this month. He has been giving you some great spooky characters. And even today, we got Frank Castle. I would say that he's pretty spooky if you're a bad guy and you're up to no good, because you do not want that skull looking at you, and he's got a barrel pointed at you. So there you go.
And he kind of fits in with the theme this month, because wasn't he in the Midnight Suns video game?
Yes.
I think he was. Yeah.
Everybody was in the Midnight Sun video game.
Yep.
I'll be honest, because you can post stuff on these Facebook pages if you're like an admin or something up to a month in advance. So at the start of the month, I posted the character of the day and the random panel of the day for every day for this entire month, so I don't forget to do it. The only ones I need to post after that are Thursday for, whichever character we do. Yeah. I completely dropped the ball on posting one today, and we went to IHOP for dinner because me and my wife both got home too late to make dinner, and we're like, I'll just go there. And he texted me, he's like, is there a character of the day, or did I just miss it? I was like, shit, I forgot to post it. So it was posted very late.
Well, better late than never.
Yeah, you could put that one on there. I'll allow it. I'll allow this one.
I'll allow it.
Versus that one.
It will be the Saturday before Halloween.
Yes.
Yeah, the 25th. The 25th. Homosexual. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know, for a guy that's waging a war on crime based on his wife and kids getting killed, he seems to get laid a lot.
Well, he's got a lot of aggression. He's got a high caliber weapon too. People want to see that. So there you go. And speaking of a high caliber individual, that guy right up there, the one that founded this station, was lying in bed one night and he thought, you know what? There's something that I can do for the betterment of this world. We don't need any more healers. We don't need any more Jonas Salks. What we do need is a comic podcast that the masses can come see and that they can love and enjoy what we have to offer them, and they can offer us in return. It was a wonderful, wonderful idea, and it germinated and grew. And from within that psyche, it became this great, grand edifice that has burst through the ground and is growing as we talk right now. It is growing higher and higher into the sky, and it's transporting the signal that we have to give you all the way from coast to coast around the world, from one continent to another. And it's all because J-Dub had indigestion and couldn't sleep one night, and he had ideas running around in his head. Too many burritos. And that's why Taco Bell can help you in life.
Yeah.
J-Dub.
Taco Bell, if you want to sponsor us, we're all for it. Thank you.
We're all for it. Taco Bell, who kept Jamie.
Reach out to us, Taco Bell. Come on.
Yeah. Hit us up. You guys know what it is.
We should have gas pumps at Taco Bell, and then they'd be able to advertise we have gas for you and your car.
There you go.
Well, you can check us out over at thecodexstation.com. One-stop shop for everything you need. Get some merch, meet team, let us know what you like and don't like. And you can find us on the
on all the socials that we absolutely 100% have. Because look at us. Look at this motley crew. We're dripping with them. Positively 100% infected. And the thing that could make us even more happy would be to infect you. All you have to do to get what we got is hit that little button.
Yes.
Won't hurt a bit.
Yes,
no
definitely.
Pain, all pleasure.
Hit that like button. I see all you in there in the chat watching right now. Smash that like button. so we can keep doing more of
We
these,
ain't.
or I'll shut this shit down.
Nope.
Or I'll turn this car around.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now that the business is out of the way, let's say we kick off the show.
Yes,
Get
please.
to it. Let's see. Where is my... Here we go. All right, folks, we'll see you in about 10 seconds.
That is a
Welcome, ladies and
cool
gentlemen.
title card.
What's that?
That's a
that?
cool title card. The black
Yep.
and the white with the Punisher in red.
Yep, thank you. Yep, that was good. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Codex Station Comic Character of the Week. I'm your host, Sal the Slab Guy. Down below is Dan DeKelly Art. Right there, it's a Ric Flair of comics. And of course,
Woo!
our high
We're not stopping at Taco Bell tomorrow, Chris.
No, we're not. No
Oh.
Taco Bell tomorrow.
No, whatever you do, don't. I told you. I was
If he says he's hungry, you say I got beef jerky.
no, I wouldn't trust him with that. I've been in a restaurant that they had to call a hazmat team because what he did in the bathroom.
Oh,
Matter
yeah.
of fact, we had to run out of the door, get in the car, squeal tires, getting out of there because what he did. He blew out the light bulb in the bathroom.
He
The
did that.
bathroom
He
was
did that,
put in
yeah.
bathed in darkness after what he did in there. He
He did that at the shop show in Frederick.
did he do that there too?
Yes,
Wow.
he did.
My plan is to, after we leave here, to stop at Royal Farms on the way and get my traditional breakfast of a rain cherry limeade energy drink and a chicken box to eat on the way. And then I have my 2.5 pound bag of beef jerky that I made, which I actually have some more upstairs going now to snack on throughout the day, so I can try and avoid paying the exorbitant prices at the snack bar they have at the convention hall.
Yes.
I don't even eat during the day, so
Well, I got a bag of it for you.
Okay, well, there we go.
The only time that you'll ever see. That's the only time that you'll see a frightened light bulb and see the life just drain out of it as it just slowly dies. The last ember disappears.
Listen, the hazmat team had to go in that bathroom in total darkness because the light didn't work anymore because of what Chris did. I'm bringing snacks too.
He's bringing some snacks.
Well, hey,
Right.
last year when we had the table, I brought a whole cooler full of sandwiches.
Chris,
and
they do not want he does not want the pre-digested snacks.
yeah, you got a long drive from your house to get to mine, so you just make sure you get it all out of your system on the way.
There you go.
Good luck. Good luck. Good luck with that.
All right, Dan, you ready to give us the intro on him?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so he first appeared in Amazing Spider-Man 129, which I used to have and stupidly sold, and will probably never get to have back again. From February 1974, he was created by writer Jerry Conway and artist John Romita Sr., who created the look. But there's plenty of alleyways in Baltimore. and is actually also credited to artist Ross Andrew as being a creator, even though he didn't. Conway created the design, the personality and the concept of the character. Romita drew the design of him, but Andrew drew that first issue of Amazing Spider-Man. They were so impressed with the work that he did on it, with how he rendered the character, that they listed him as a co-creator.
Ross Andrew was a very good Spider-Man artist that I think gets lost sometime. He really and had a lot of longevity on that title.
Mm-hmm.
And do any of you know what the character was that the Punisher was based on, that Jerry Conway based the character on? It was not a comic character.
I would have figured it was Bronson in Death Wish.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It was a character named... There was a Vietnam veteran who became a mass murderer, killing criminals after the mafia killed his family. Sound familiar? It was a character named Mac Bolan, who was the main character of a popular series of novels at the time called The Executioner.
Okay.
Wow, he really cribbed from that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it did. Yes, he did.
But yeah, so Castle is a Vietnam vet, though in Marvel's sliding timeline, I don't know what the war is now that they that they had him at for the official Marvel timeline. But originally, he was a Vietnam vet, served many tours over there, came home, had a wife, son, and a daughter. They went for a picnic in the park in New York. They accidentally stumbled onto a mob killing. The mob gunned them down, murdered his family. He survives. He became a vigilante, and he became the Punisher. Power-wise, he's just a really angry guy that's military trained. So he's, a trained Marine, expert marksman, master tactician, skilled fighter, master of all kinds of different firearms, fighting styles, bladed weapon, basically he's the ultimate soldier.
And you can take a beating.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can. All right, very cool. All right, so let's go ahead and jump to our first segment of the night, what works best with this character? And Uncle Gary, you can kick us off with this one.
Oh, yeah, see, Chris had the answer.
Nice.
There you go.
I think I think this is really important to the character, and I know that time has made this really tough to deal with, but I think what works best is when Frank Castle is a Vietnam vet. I think he needs to be a Vietnam vet because the Punisher is a dirty, grimy, gritty character. And in that era, the Vietnam War was a dirty, grimy, gritty war that was unpopular. And I think that really plays into the psyche of the character, that he went over there and he did a job that they were not celebrated. They were vilified on a lot of cases, in real life. And I think that really adds to the pathos of the character of the Punisher. One thing we learned to do in the years since Vietnam, and especially, not so much Afghanistan, but Iraq, where a lot of people, including me, would argue that was when we went in the second time, that was not a just war. That was just business interest in oil and things like that. We were blaming the wrong country for 9/11 when it was Afghanistan. So, but we learned to appreciate our men and women, our servicemen and women, just like Chris who served during that era. We learned to appreciate those people, even if we didn't. And actually, he was Desert Storm. He was earlier than the second incursion. But we learned to appreciate our fighters who served. But in Vietnam, we didn't. Those guys would come home and get spit on and get turned down for jobs and all kinds of just societal disapproval. And I think that really is important to Frank Castle's psyche. One of the last great books that dealt with him being a Vietnam vet that will be on my recommended reading was a Punisher Max series. It's called The End by Jason Aaron, and he was a Vietnam vet in that, and Fury was in that. And I just think that is so important for the character, and that Frank is a man on a mission. And I think I also like that Frank, it's been kind of a revisionist thing, but they have great books like Born, where Frank, absolutely, Pam, 100% is, where Frank was broken before his family was destroyed, that there was something that was awakened, a beast that was awakened in him when he served. So I know when he was first created, he was a peaceful man, came home, getting his life together, and that put him, that put him on his war path, his war journal path. But I think Frank was always had something in him that was a bit broken, and he's at his best when he has a war to fight, and that's just who he is. And I think he's always going to be looking for the next war, and he will never, ever be able to settle down. He will always be disgruntled and angry and ready to extract, his revenge on those he thinks deserves it. So he is an anti-hero to the max. We all love him, but he's not lovable.
So true. All right, Jamie, how about you?
I really do like him as the guy that is the one that's relied on to pull the trigger if need be. You got a lot of these characters that have these high morales where they're like, well, we're just going to let them go. They'll learn a lesson, use the justice system, whatever it may be. Not Frank. And that's the point that I love about him, is that when everyone else is like, we can't do that to him, Frank's like, no, he's going down. Like, there's no way around it. Like, he did this, this, and this. He's like, he's just gonna get out in 3 months anyways.
Right.
And it's over.
Just I hope everybody read what Chris just put up.
Yeah.
This is Chris being dead serious, and that's true. When he got back from Panama, it was not much fanfare, but when we got back from the Gulf, people were cheering. So we did learn to pivot and celebrate and respect our heroes in uniform. So interesting, but that's like Castle, and you're right, Jamie. That's who Castle is. He is the guy that is never afraid to take the shot.
No.
All right, for me, it's pretty much what you guys were saying. What works best for me is when he's full tilt in the thick of things, and he is just dropping people left and right. You put him in a room like full of mobsters or whatever, or bad guys, and you give him a pocket knife, and everybody else is armed to the teeth. He's still walking out of there. He might be bloodied, he might be shot, he might be scratched, dinged up, but he's walking out of there. And that I love that about him. I also love how he's always at odds with like Daredevil and Spider-Man with their, no kill type of mentality. And it's like seeing polar opposites on them when they're always talking about it. And Jamie's right about that whole he's 100% the person that's going to take the shot no matter what, and being that type of person really conflicts well with Daredevil and the heroes like Spider-Man as well. And one of the other things that go along with that is I like how it goes along with the hero's methods. Like, okay, I won't kill anybody. I'll use rubber bullets until they don't suit him anymore. And then he's like, yeah, this guy's going to go.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. But yeah, stuff like that is what I really love about this character.
I think Frank doesn't know what a rubber really is. So
yeah, I know.
That's why he's got 2 kids.
If I shoot him in the eyeball with a rubber bullet, it's still going to kill him.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Dan, how about you?
Wow.
Oh, God.
I do agree that he works best as a Vietnam vet, but I also know with Marvel's sliding timeline, if you still had him as a Vietnam vet, he'd be too old to operate as the Punisher. So, I know it's not like they say, oh, he's an Iraq war vet or this. Like it's a fictitious war that they've it's basically Vietnam just with like a fictitious Southeastern Asian country that he's in, so they could still have that element without having to be that set time.
Right.
But the Vietnam aspect of it and everything that surrounds that and everything that denotes works best for him. And I like that he's just uncompromising and he's not going to let anything get in his way. Once he has his sights set on something, that's it. Nothing's changing. Nothing's talking. No one's talking him out of it. Nothing's going to stop him, from getting that goal. And you've seen it plenty of times where he's going in thinking like, all right, I'm not going to make it out, but neither is this guy.
Right.
I like that he's not a superhero. He doesn't have, hey, what's up, Brandon?
Brandon.
Hey,
there
Brandon. There we go. I'm going to try to be the Hulk 180. I hope to be. You, sir, are always the Hulk 180 with the Marvel stamp included.
Good to see you on air, buddy. Oh,
yes.
My goodness.
I'm going to...
just a side note, I sent you a text, Brandon, about the Halloween special.
Yeah, he said I forgot to text you back.
Oh, okay. Yep. All right. Thanks, buddy.
And Brandon, we hope you really dig the when we got together and we did a big 5 for you, and I hope you get to watch it, and I hope you love it. So
yes.
For you, we did it for you, baby.
That's right.
And Brandon, we're going to Baltimore Comic-Con this weekend, so I'm gonna message you in a couple days just so you can keep an eye out for it.
Right.
Anyway, as I was saying, I like that he doesn't have superpowers, and there's other characters like Batman and some of them that don't, but the Punisher is the one that seemingly, does get hurt, does get injured, and does have to find a way to still function. Whereas Batman will, he'll get his shit rocked and then just be like, 3 pages later, oh, he's fine. He's going around. Like where a Punisher gets shot and 3 pages later, sometimes 3 issues later, he's still having to find a way to do what he does while dealing with that injury. But I'll be honest, I would not be upset if they gave him a oh well, yeah, we we did it all for you, so we hope you
That's right, baby.
we hope you enjoy it. I wouldn't be terribly upset if they did give him powers. If they gave him a healing factor akin to what Wolverine had originally, before Wolverine's healing factor became like ridiculous, where it's
Yeah. A drop of blood.
yeah, where basically it's like, oh, he could regenerate. You could, cut his arms and legs off, and he'll grow them back in a day. If you remember his healing factor, what it was originally, he could still be killed, and if he got hurt really bad, it would take him a while to fully heal. I wouldn't mind seeing the Punisher having something. Yeah, Batman uses bat medicine. It's in his belt, right beside his bat shark repellent.
That's right.
Well, we did see him with powers in that miniseries.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like a very low level healing factor that would also allow him to still be a Vietnam vet, because then it has longevity or something, but nothing where he's lifting cars over his head or anything like that. Basically, just a little writer hack to explain why he's still able to do what he does.
Right, and I would be okay with that if there was a really good story could explain why he's got extra longevity and he could remain a Vietnam vet, because I just think that's so important to the psyche. But you know what? Maybe that's just me being an old guy, because I don't know if the modern generation of readers really understand the complexities of the Vietnam War and the national psyche. The trouble in the national psyche that war, played. So, maybe it's just relevant to old guys like us.
Maybe so.
And maybe they could give him what's the serum that Nick Fury has? It's not the super soldier serum. I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but it's something where basically like, here's how this guy was in World War II and is still alive.
And you know what? That would make perfect sense, because of he and Fury's ties together, that he would get it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a transfusion from Fury.
Yeah. But anyways, that's what I like for him.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. Jumping to our next segment, which is going to be badass moments. And since we always take Jamie's badass moments, I'm going to let Jamie go first.
Yay. I'm so happy for a change, because everyone's going to have mine and I can knock some out. So I got, for the first one is quick. It's Punisher versus Wolverine, Punisher War Journal. This is 6 and 7. And real quick, you want to see something awesome and gruesome. Frank literally runs Wolverine over with a steamroller and drops him into a bar full of bikers. Like, that just speaks Frank Castle. Like, to me. Next up, I got Taking Down the Marvel Universe from the What If. Punisher kills the Marvel Universe. Frank loses his family during a superhero battle gone wrong, and instead of hunting mobsters, he hunts just everyone from Spider-Man to Wolverine to Captain America. Frank systematically eliminates the entire Marvel Universe with nothing but planning, grit, and just ruthlessness.
Yeah, that's it, man. The pretty good soldiers there.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
You get that at a discount. That's a discounted rate on that.
It's the great value version.
It's the Timo version.
Yeah. And then my last one, I have Frank's Rampage from Welcome Back, Frank. Frank takes on, the New York Underground in this, mobsters, assassins, and even a group of wannabe vigilantes. One of the most iconic moments, I think, he throws a mobster off a roof and lands him on a moving bus. Like, no remorse, just cold.
The Infinity Formula. That's what it was.
Infinity Formula. Okay. I like Pam's title better.
Yeah.
All right. Very cool. Nice ones, Jamie. All right, Uncle Gary, how about you? What you got?
All right. Well, I think we need to elaborate a little bit more on Wolverine getting run over with a steamroller.
Yeah.
Led up to it.
Yeah, but before that, he empties a Uzi clip in Wolverine's balls.
Yeah.
And says that's okay, they'll grow back.
Well, even before the issue before that, he shoots him in the face with a shotgun.
Yeah.
And then the next issue, he's running around where you just see his adamantium skull, and he's like, "I'm going to kill you, Castle."
Oh yeah, and there were midgets involved in this too, right?
Yeah.
There were midgets being used as clubs and being used as shields. I mean, this was a nuts. nuts story. But yeah, at the end, Frank's like, to get away, he runs over Wolverine with a steamroller and leaves him there. And Frank and Wolverine held a grudge on this for a while. So there were a lot of great instances where Wolverine says, "I still don't appreciate that, Castle." So, just awesome goodness. And then my other badass moment, it's really a series of badass moments. It's in Punisher War Zones by Greg Rucka. He punks the entire Avengers team pretty much, where they're going to one-on-one go after him. And I'll describe the book a little later, but especially Iron Man. Oh my God, how he punks Iron Man. And they keep underestimating Frank Castle, and he keeps outsmarting them. They think he's beneath him. And, so the Avengers load up. They go after him one-on-one. And
what's up, Booge?
And the only
Hey, Booge.
one-on-one that really gets him is Thor. And Thor's just a little short punch and knocks him out, and wakes up, and he says, "Castle, we will talk and drink." So he drinks with Frank, trying to talk some sense into him.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'll talk more about that story later, but just in that book, how he just, the Avengers underestimate him, and he just gets them. The last one is one of my favorites. And this, to me, it's an image. I'm going to show you an image. And it is one of the, every now and then you read a comic and your jaw drops and you go, God dang, your jaw just drops. Kind of like for those of you that have read Blackest Night, when Black Hand becomes a true Black Lantern.
Yes.
A full page panel where he becomes a true Black Lantern. I'm not going to give anything else away for those that haven't seen it. And you're like, holy shit. You're just stunned at that page. Well, this page does it for me. And then, this will also be on my recommended reading list. And Up is Down and Black is White. There's this mobster that is really trying to get under Frank's skin. And his name is Nicky Cavella, and he really wants to get Frank off his game. And he does.
Oh, yeah.
What Nicky does is he digs up the bodies of his wife and his 2 children. And I just want to set the scene. There's a bar in New York. There's a bar, restaurant bar. And this is playing on the TV, and all the patrons are watching it. Breaking news tonight, our top story. A videotape sent to this network and others depicts shocking scenes at the grave of the family of Frank Castle, also known as the Punisher. Castle, whose wife Maria and 2 children, Lisa and Frank Jr., were killed in the crossfire of a mob shootout in 1976, has waged a one-man war on crime for almost 30 years. In that time, law enforcement sources estimate that he may have committed as many as 2,000 murders. Castle is currently at large and is believed to be continuing his activities somewhere in the New York area. Viewers are warned that they may find the following images disturbing. And they show the bodies. The bodies are here. And they show that they're being pissed on. And they pixelated it where Cabela is pissing on the skeletons. And people in the bar going, holy shit. And the news says again, an NYPD spokesman hasn't confirmed that the Castle family grave in Greenwood Cemetery, Brooklyn, was disturbed during the night. The figure in the videotape is believed to be Nicholas Cabela, a longtime mafia figure who is wanted by local, state, and federal authorities. That guy is going to go effing berserk. Tell me about it. Can we put this on big screen?
Yeah, I got you.
Go for it.
Okay.
That last line, those are two guys at the bar watching it saying,
yeah. That guy's going to go effing berserk. Tell me about it. Tell me that's not a badass moment.
Yeah, he's just sitting there watching that. As soon as you see that page, you're like, that dude's dead.
Oh, and this was the end of that issue. But look at that image. I'm telling you, that made me drop my jaw and go, holy shit. And Frank is pissed. Oh my God. And Nicky did his job. Frank was off his game. Now, Nick, Frank being Frank, he probably got his way in the end of this, but it was amazing. Yeah, and it was Garth Ennis that wrote it, Boosh, but I remember reading that and just losing my mind, seeing that image and that final page Frank's got his food there. He's gripping the utensils so damn tight, and just that look on his mug. Shout out to
Leandro Fernandez.
Leandro Fernandez for that image.
Mm.
I will never, and I mean never, ever forget that image. Seared in my brain. Badass moment number one for me.
That's
Nice.
who I picked as my favorite artist. The first Punisher episode we did because of that storyline. I was like, I just want to see him draw more of them.
Oh yeah.
Good stuff. All right, Dan, how about you?
Thanks, Pam.
All right, so yeah, the first time around, I also had something from the Kills the Marvel Universe. I had the thing with him and Wolverine. Yeah.
Oh. No.
I also had the first time. I'm surprised no one mentioned it this time that when he killed the Russian by having his fat neighbor smother him.
I have the Russian one.
I forgot. I thought you won already. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right.
Well, there was. All right, I'll save the other two then from last time. But there was a going along with the Nikki Cavello thing. It's my badass moment is what he ultimately did with him. Where the Punisher is someone that is just about I'm gonna what is that look? When he let the Russian whale on Spider-Man.
Yeah, you did great.
The Punisher is someone that's just, I'm gonna kill you. The sooner you could be dead, the better. That's one reason. The biggest problem I had with the Thomas Jane movie, where I thought I thought he was a good Punisher, but all the stuff where he's doing the little planning and this and that, and he's like, I got you to do this. And I'm like, that's not the Punisher. Punisher just killed the guy.
Yeah.
But with Nikki Cavella, he doesn't just kill him and he's dead. He drags him out into the woods. He shoots him in the gut and tells him it's going to take you a couple days to die. And you're out here in the middle of nowhere and nobody's going to hear you. You're not going to get any help. And you're just going to slowly and painfully die out here. And then he just leaves him. I was like, God damn, that's cold. It reminded me of the Jonah Hex and his father.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another one is in Punisher Warzone 6, the one that Ennis and Dylan did. It's like at the very end of it, this one character who's in it is sitting there kind of keeping this journal, and Punisher goes in, kills his lackeys, and he doesn't know it, but Punisher walks up behind him and sees what he's typing on his computer, and the guy's typing, he's like, oh, and I got him, and then he's haunted by this and that, and Frank just goes, what makes you think they haunt me? And he goes like, oh shit. He goes, I send them to hell. I sleep just fine. And then you can imagine what happens to that guy afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, Richard.
What's up, Richard? And I forget what the issue was. I didn't have time to. I forgot to look it up. He stole the War Machine armor.
Yes.
I'm not, well, they gave him the War Machine armor because they're like, we need you to do this mission. Then he's just like, all right, F you, I'm going to keep it. And I'm going to jailbreak it so I can keep it and do what I want. And while I'm not a fan of the Punisher generally like having powers or any of this, to me, that seemed absolutely perfect because he's just going to look at this armor as this is one more weapon for me to use in this war.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what it was. It was another weapon that I can use.
Yep.
This is just a bigger gun.
Be hearing about that later.
Yep.
Oh, the Jonah Hex Punisher team.
Oh,
would be bad.
Boom. Now that's what Marvel and DC should do. My goodness, there'd be some lead flying.
Yeah, there would.
Yeah. All right, Sal. So, do you have anything from the as you referred to the family in the original Punisher episode we did, Maul Gucci?
No, I don't have that one.
All right, so Punisher 4 and 12 from the Welcome Back Frank storyline. He picks up in issue 4. He picks up Maul Gucci, as Sal calls her, and throws her in a bear enclosure where she gets mauled by a bear, where she's nothing left but a torso, a head, and some stumps. And then in the final issue, he takes her armless, legless body, and he drop kicks her. He punts her into her house that's on fire to leave her for dead.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not no way to treat a lady, but Ma was no lady.
Yep. Very true. All right, good ones there. Let's see. So I'll kick it off with the Russian one. This was in Punisher 8 and 9 during the 2000 run. He goes toe to toe with this sort of Russian, superhuman Russian. He's like 7 foot tall. It's all like in this apartment. It's a brutal fight, and he finishes him off with a microwave. You know, that's just brutal and legendary right there with a freaking microwave. That was awesome. Another one I had is the War Journal, Civil War era. He while the heroes are debating about the Registration Act and stuff like that, Frank just storms in, kills a squad of supervillains mid-meeting, and while Captain America punches him for it, he doesn't fight back because he's shown out of sheer respect. He's just standing there. He just takes the punch from Captain America, but he just drops in, kills the whole squad of supervillains mid-meeting. Didn't bat an eye, but then doesn't fight back at Captain America. Badass moment for me right there.
I think the only 3 superheroes that Castle respects are Cap, Daredevil, and Spider-Man. I think he holds pretty much most of the rest of them. He kind of holds in disdain.
He respects the Widow too.
Yeah, and Widow, and then I guess to an extent, Bucky.
Yep.
Right. So let's see. The last I had several up here, but the last one I'm going to use is Punisher Max the Cell, where he voluntarily got himself imprisoned just to be in the same prison as all the mobsters that got the hit on his family, and just kills everyone out and walks out of there without a scratch on him. That was pretty badass. So those are, and then I also had the Wolverine one with the steamroller, but I figured you guys had that. I had another one where he threw a guy off a building, but I forgot to check what issue that was.
Oh yeah, that was good.
He threw a guy off the Empire State Building. It's whoosh, that type of thing. Brutal. All right, so let's go ahead then.
I was going to say one more too, real quick.
Yeah,
I mentioned the first time I was from the Punisher Batman Deadly Nights crossover when he scared the Joker enough that the Joker actually begged for his life because he knew, like, all right, Batman will beat the shit out of me, but he'll put me in Arkham and I'll get out. He saw the Punisher gunning down people, and he knew, and he was getting ready to shoot him, and he knew, like, oh, this guy's not playing around. There's no like locking. He's not about locking guys up. He's about taking them out, and he made the Joker scared.
Yeah, the Joker was like, this guy's not joking around.
Yeah,
there's no joke here.
Yeah.
I'm out of respect for both Smith and Wesson.
Cool. Frank is just not to be trifled with.
No.
Yeah.
All
I think
right,
that's
so
the best way to put it.
And you know what? I think Cap has a respect for him too. He calls him soldier and wants him to stand down. I think Cap knows what Frank did for his country, and I think he knows what demons Frank has. And so I believe Cap has some empathy for Frank.
He probably, I bet
Cap,
he feels that.
They fought in different wars, but Cap knows the horror of war.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, then. Our next segment then is, of course, what we don't like, and I'll go first on this one. Mine's pretty simple. I don't like it when they nerf him down. Like, oh, okay, I won't kill anybody, that type of thing. I don't like that whatsoever. He's got to be full tilt, enraged, in kill mode for me. If he's anything less than that, I don't like him. So that's what I don't like about him. Jamie, what's about you? What do you not like about him?
This one might be a little controversial with everything going on. But don't change him. Don't change the logo. Don't change who he is.
True.
Don't. Yeah. Whatever's going on outside, he's a fictional character.
You leave him alone.
Plain and simple. Like, he's been around longer than all that's been going on. Like, there's no reason.
Putting that up.
You guys want to take a break? Go ahead. Take a break. But don't change the character based on what other people are doing. He is not some, monumental figure in society that's doing this. He is a Marvel character that people are writing.
And they even addressed it in the comic too, in one of the issues when he comes across the 2 cops and they're like, "Oh, we're all about what you do," and see, we got the skull. And he's like, "No, I'm not the one to follow." He's like, And he flat out tells her, like, I'm
No.
a bad guy. I'm a criminal. He's like, you want someone to look up to. You look up to Captain America. He's like, I'm not the one to emulate. Like, he
Right.
knows what, he knows what he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, most definitely. All right, Uncle Gary, you're next. What don't you like about him? Frankencastle. God.
He just said it right there. I hated Frankencastle. That was the dumbest thing ever. And then to get rid of the Frankencastle thing, the parts just kind of fell off of him. So stupid. Hate Frankencastle. I'm not much for isn't there a Galactic Punisher?
Oh, yeah, the Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Yeah, I don't need that crap either. Don't give me that. Frank Castle is a down in the mud, gritty, grimy, go for guts kind of guy. He is not a cosmic entity. So
Greasy,
knock
grimy,
that
go for
shit
guts.
off. Yep, that's right. Knock that shit off. He is a street level hero, and and like Dan mentioned earlier, I'd be okay if we could give him some kind of longevity. If he gets some of that sperm. Yeah, there you go. Well, there you go, Chris. Give him kind of that longevity serum so we can keep him a Vietnam vet. But yeah, Castle, no fancy powers, no Frankencastle. Was he an angel at some point? Some kind of angel of death? I mean, they've done.
Yeah, that's when your boy Bernie worked on the book.
Yeah, I know that was
Jusco covers.
Yeah, and
Palmiati.
I did use one of those covers, so it was so cool. And he was an angel of death, which makes a lot more sense than Frankencastle made.
Yeah.
So, Boosh, I just didn't dig it, man. But that's okay. We can disagree. We can disagree
good.
on it. And
the whole genesis of that was just like someone like saying the name as a joke because like, oh, what if it was this? And someone else like, yeah,
let's put that in right.
and didn't Dakin cut him up into little bitty pieces?
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, they cut him up into little bitty pieces, and he drained into the sewer system. I mean, just come on, quit messing with Castle. And sometimes they do things like the last series where he was possessed by a demon of the hand.
Go.
And, I like that. I thought that was very much within the character that Castle would be prone to be taken over by something that wanted vengeance. And the way they resurrected his wife and the kids, that was really creepy and eerie. And I like that too. I like that series a lot. I know it got a lot of controversy because they changed the chest logo, but because of him being co-opted by the hand, it made perfect sense for it to alter and have the horns. So I like that deviation from what we knew of Castle, and I thought it was pretty cool.
Never, Mr. Keith.
And then there was another deviation where during the War of the Realms, he ends up getting revenge against some of the people in New York that were killed by these
that was a cool one.
Yeah, and I thought that was cool where he was actually going after some of the creatures from Norse mythology that came over and slaughtered folks here, and he was leading a band. Yeah, he's taking care of them. Absolutely. So I kind of dug that too. So I can take some minor deviations, but Frankencastle broke me. Sorry.
All right.
Frankencastle is my first Punisher comic.
Oh, jeez.
Well, it was all uphill from there, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yep. All right, Dan. What don't you like about him?
I mean, yeah, when they try and make him anything other than like a hardcore vigilante, the angel stuff, which I thought it was funny how Garth Ennis, when he took over with Welcome Back Frank, wrote that. It was like 2 panels. He's like up in heaven. He's like, F you. And they're like, all right, you're back down on earth. And it's like, that's it. It's done. We're moving past it like it didn't happen. But that, the Frankencastle thing, even the thing, I wasn't so mad at them changing the skull because I knew it's an iconic logo. They're going to put it back eventually.
Right.
It fits with the story. I just didn't like the whole supernatural element, and I really didn't like how they almost changed the backstory of his character, where it made it seem like he was killing since he was a child. He didn't really love his wife or his children. He didn't really care about them at all. Like, I was like, that takes away all the impact of the character. The whole reason that he became what he became is because of the loss of his family, on top of his PTSD from the war. You saying that now, they didn't really mean anything to him. To me, that I absolutely, that was the thing I hated most about that series. was them just just kind of downgrading the relationship of him with his family.
Yep, totally agree with that.
And yeah, I know Jamie doesn't like Bernthal's Punisher.
It's not that I don't
do.
like
I
it.
love it.
It's that I had a perception of him when it started, and didn't think he could do a good job. But people are wrong.
But yeah, so that that's like I said, what I don't like. Just keep him as the vigilante, and don't add all this supernatural kind of stuff to it. Even when he was doing the North, fighting the Norse gods, like, all right, it was this big, Marvel, all-encompassing Marvel crossover, and it's not like he got superpowers or anything in that. He just got bigger weapons.
He's in the van.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He's still using the van.
yeah, that's true.
Look,
battle van.
I'm all in on Bernthal's Punisher. I'm all in.
Yeah,
Love him.
yep. All right, awesome. Let's go ahead and jump to our next segment, then, which is top covers. And let's see, who do I got first for top covers? That would be Gary. I got your covers up first.
All right. The one on the left, it's of course Bradstreet and who was the inker? Let's see, it was Bradstreet and Paul. No, I'm sorry, that was just Bradstreet. He was by himself on that one. I just love that. That's the first issue of one of the newer, relaunches of it. So
that was one of my top covers. The first.
Thanks, Chris.
Yep, and
I feel loved.
Bradstreet did so many great covers.
Oh,
my God. Love his covers. The one in the middle, because it was Halloween time, I mean, I took out a certain one that it's got to be here that Jim Lee did that I'm sure somebody will have. So I figured nobody would have a Bernie Wrightson. And because it's Halloween time, I figured that's a great one, like in the middle, Punisher number 3, volume 4. And that's the Bernie Wrightson, Joe Jusko cover coming out of the ground. I just,
Yeah, it's like the Craven's Last Hunt.
Absolutely. So just absolutely love it. And then the one on the right, I have loved this since that series came out by Zek. I love the target bleeding.
Yeah.
So awesome. And that's Zek and Paul Zimmelman. So,
I even love the little Marvel box up in the top left with just him holding the guns.
Absolutely. I have a poster of that image there from that I've got hanging up, and I just always love that. And Punisher by Zek with that mean scowl on his face, can't go wrong there. So
Zek's interiors were great, but his covers for all those books he did, Punisher, Cap, Spider-Man, all just amazing. Secret Wars.
Oh yeah. Zek was great. Oh, Deathstroke the Terminator, the first cover was Zek. So yeah, Zek, just the power and the anger that he has in there. And I just wanted to get 3 different artists up here that we could give 3 different styles to it. So Frank is just such a great image. I mean, the Zek one is more superhero-esque with the costume, and Bradstreet, is more just real life, just a t-shirt with a skull on it, and tactical gear. But still, you look at those images, who we're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right, let's see who I got next. Dan, got yours next. You ready?
Yeah. All right, so the first time I had the Punisher 1 cover that Gary had, I had the Punisher 1 cover from the miniseries, first miniseries, and I had Punisher War Journal 19, which is the one where the Punisher is riding on the jet ski, because I was like, that's just so ridiculous. Somebody has that. You just rented a jet ski to the Punisher. Kiss it, but goodbye. So these ones I got Punisher War Journal 21. I just love that, you see the skull and float in the water and his head coming out. It's very much like Apocalypse Now. That one scene where Martin Sheen's towards the end coming up. That's just such a badass image. The middle one, Punisher Year 1 Issue 3. I love the colors on it, where it's all bathed in blue, and just the red eye that he has, and then where he's got his hands together praying, but he's holding the gun there. Just is just such an awesome look. And then the one on the end, the Punisher issue 1 variant one, I forget which edition it is. There's so many now, but where he's just sitting there on, just kind of relaxing in the chair, throwing the bullets up in the air, all the dead bad guys at his feet, and he's like, "Yep, I killed all the bad guys. I'm just gonna sit here and just kind of
Chill out.
take a little break." Yeah.
Nice. I love it.
But like the way he's just kind of slouching there and just relaxing, it just kind of shows, it just kind of shows, how little, these bad guys mean to him.
Yeah.
And they still got work to do.
Yeah.
Chris.
What do you do?
All right, Jamie, I got yours. You ready?
Yeah. Yeah, so I had the middle one, same one as Dan. The one on the left is actually the new series that just came out with the Red Band. I just love it. Like it just screams Frank. Like
that's what I used as the picture for the character of the day.
Yeah, I seen that and I was like, oh cool, I can talk about it. And then the one on the far right is Punisher. Was it 9 or 16? I just love the background of this, and then in the middle you just got Frank standing there with the gun pointed at her in the trail of blood.
That's awesome.
There's no better way to represent Frank than that.
That's wild, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Cool.
see where
Cool
where my
imagery.
covers. Here we go. Okay, so what's that far left one? I did all 2s. All these issues are number 2s. So the far left one, Punisher Volume 2, 2A, is the cover artist by Klaus Janson. I like this one because the stark white background, I don't know, really makes him pop out more to me. And he's got that stern look on his face. He's pointing the gun right at you. It's really cool. I love that. That second one, that middle one, this is Punisher Volume 5.
Thanks for joining.
Hey, JC. Thanks, buddy. So that middle issue is Volume 5, 2B cover, and the cover artist is Steve Dillon on this one. And I love the look on his face. He's enjoying it, That's just awesome. And he got all the gun shootings and everything like that going around, action right there. Awesome stuff. So the last one I hear on the far right, Punisher Volume 12, 2A version. This is by Greg Smallwood, and again, similar to how the first issue or that far left issue has the white contrast in the background. This one with the black background, and he's almost blended in with it. He's makes him stand out when he's got all the target, the laser dots on him, and he's just sitting there in defiance with guns out as well. Just love it. That's just awesome stuff right there. All right, so that's our top covers. Before we jump to the next segment, we're going to do a little break here and talk about the Codex Station's Halloween special coming up October 25th. I do believe we're going to start early. We haven't set a time. Jamie will definitely post that out when we do finalize the start time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the episode where we can show off horror covers, and you guys can actually send in covers or send in titles as well. So head over to thecodexstation.com, reach out to us through there. Send me the top 3 horror covers that you guys love. I'll put them on a tile like you see with the top covers and show them off as well. So we'll be doing that for October 25th. And I also think we're going to have some special guest stars on the show as well. Do we? So
yes, there's apparently the message when I messaged all these creators to ask them for covers. Apparently, I didn't phrase it very well because all of them thought that I was inviting them to actually be on the show.
That's all right.
Like, oh man, I can't be on it that night. I'm like, no, just send us your covers. They're like, oh, okay. I actually asked Philip Kennedy Johnson, and his wife responded, and she's like, oh, he's really busy, can't be on. And I was gonna say, oh no, he can just send covers. I'm like, I'm gonna see him tomorrow at Comic-Con. So I was just like, I'll just say then, hey, if you're interested, you could just send us 3 covers and we'll make a title card for you. You don't have to.
Right.
Yep.
Hey, right. All right. So make sure you get those submissions in by October 20th. That gives me plenty of time to make sure I got your cards done. So yeah,
Yeah.
Pam. Yeah, Smallwood. Yep. Pam, you sent me like more than three covers. Can you pick out your top three and resend me your top three? Because you sent me more than three. Because you got
Yes.
confused and thought we were doing 9 again. 9 was a bit much. 3 is a perfect amount. So
Yes.
so resend me your top three, Pam, please.
And
All right.
real quick before
Yes.
we move on, everybody I see in the chat, if you guys like the content, please hit that like button. It helps with the algorithm, helps us reach more people. We want to grow. We're one away from 1,700. We've been sitting there for like 2 weeks, and it's killing me. Make it an even number, please. If it's 1701, I'll be a little upset, but hey, we passed the threshold.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So hit that like, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely give us that extra subscriber. All right. So moving on to our next segment is our essential readings. And Dan, you can go ahead first if you want. Let me get your card up
Oh,
here.
it happened.
There you go. Very good.
Yay!
And you know what? The Punisher had some really cool ones. I didn't put the issue up on my rack today because I had it on
I do
the
too.
first time we did this, but it's that black cover where he's got the knife and they just made the they put the silver on the knife. That
Yeah.
one was really cool.
It had blood on it too, right?
I'm a
Yeah.
sucker for those too, JC. All right. There. Okay. Thank you very much, Pam, for that. So Dan, here is your essential readings card.
All right, so real quick, the readings, the first time around, I had Punisher: Circle of Blood, which was his first miniseries. I had Punisher: Welcome Back, Frank, which I think is the pinnacle, the top Punisher story of all, which was the Punisher 1 through 12 when Ennis took over, and then I had the Bourne miniseries, which shows him when he was in Vietnam. So picking 3 different ones, I picked Punisher: The Cell, which was just a one shot, and Sal talked about it earlier. It's where he turns himself in and gets himself put in this prison intentionally because it's the prison that the mobsters that were the ones that directly kill his family were in. And the whole issue is about him getting in there and setting stuff up in the prison so that he can get to this protected wing that they're on to take them out. And just fantastic. The next one I have is Up is Down, Black is White, Punisher Max, issue 19 through 24. That's the one that had Nikki Cavello in it, where me and Gary talked about before. So, like I said, the artist on that, Leandro Fernandez, is the one I picked as my favorite artist last time, and Ennis did the story. It's awesome. It's gory, it's violent, it hits all the notes you want it to, and based on what we talked about before, I think that would tell you why you should read it. And the last one I have is the resurrection of Maul, as Sal, being the Italian of us, clearly knows how to pronounce it. The resurrection of Maul Gucci.
Nucci.
It was Punisher Warzone 1 through 6. This is basically a sequel to Welcome Back, Frank. Brings back some of the characters that were in that, or characters that were associated with those characters. And again, it's Ennis, it's Dylan, it's everything you would want out of an uncensored Punisher story that they would do. And I don't want to say too much about it because it'll give away some of the twists and turns in it, but it's got all the violence and the absurd humor and everything that you would want out of a Punisher story from him.
Okay, awesome
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely.
All right, I will go next. There we go. There's mine. All right, so first up, I got Punisher: The Slavers. This is from Volume 7, issues 25 to 30. This was a great read. This whole series actually was a great read too. But I focused it on these ones. But Frank rescues a victim, and he learns how truly horrifying this operation is. Corrupt cops, politicians, wealthy clients that are complicit. That's the type of stuff. And when he starts, it starts as a standard Punisher takedown. It spirals into one of the most emotionally charged crusades ever. This arc really pushes it past his normal limits of violence, I think. he's just not dealing with gangsters or drug dealers, but monsters who destroy innocence itself. I feel so. It's really good. I really consider this one of the classics. This particular story, because I feel like it's emotionally intense and it makes it stand out. As one of the most violent arcs that I've ever read, and I love it. It's really good. So let's see. Next on their list is The Cell. Dan did a great job covering this one. The only thing I'll add to this one on The Cell is, where did I have this one? It's the perfect encapsulation of who the Punisher is: ruthless, tactical, and unstoppable. That's the only thing I can add to that. Dan nailed it on the head on that one, 100%. All right, so the next one, last one there is The Punisher Volume 1, 1 through 5. This is the very first, miniseries. It's just a really good story to read because it really opens you up for the character. It solidifies his look, with the skull emblem, the tactical gear, the grim demeanor. Mike Zeck's artwork became iconic with this, and it also inspired later works as well. But you get to learn about, the soldier in a one-man war, is uncompromising, emotionally detached. And it's just a great series to read. If you've never read anything about the Punisher, you should read this one so you can at least, get the feeling of what he is and who he is. So those are my three. And who do I got next? I have Gary next. You ready, Gary?
Yep, ready.
All right, here you go.
All right. So the top one I have is, we haven't talked about that much, but I love this book. It's a 22-issue series by Jason Aaron with art by Steve Dillon. Aaron writes this book so much in the style of Garth Ennis that when you see Steve Dillon's art, who you associate with Garth Ennis, you swear you're reading Garth Ennis. I love this story. This was maybe the last big run that had Frank as a Vietnam vet, and Fury was in it, and and Bullseye is in it, and it's just plenty of violence, plenty of pathos, some really moving moments. Fury's admiration for Frank and respect for Frank, and at the same time, sorrow for Frank's lot in life is really poignant. And I love that it had an end point too, right? So this is definitely out of continuity because, leading character doesn't survive this storyline. That's kind of surprising. So it is out of continuity, but it's just an amazing 22-issue run. It's been collected in smaller trades, and it's also been collected in one great big, larger volume trade paperback. I highly recommend that book. I loved it. And Up is Down, Black is White is, again, the one where Nikki Cavella digs up the graves, of his family and pisses on them. And Frank sees it in the bar. And I showed you that great image where Frank, his mind again, for me, that is a top 5 comic page ever that makes me drop my jaw. That's how much, that book is seared into my retina, that image is. So, and Nikki does get him off his game. I mean, as Dan described, Nikki gets what's coming to him in the end, but Frank is really screwed up. Frank is making terrible mistakes that he wouldn't normally make. So Nikki got in his, Nikki got in his head. That's for sure. But so it took a while for Frank to get righted again. But what a great story. And of course, again, by Garth Ennis and by
Leandro Fernandez.
And the last one is, I know I talked about a bit before, Punisher War Zones. And maybe this is more of an Avengers story than a Punisher story. But I find it so fascinating because basically it begins with another encounter where Frank gets the better of Spider-Man, who's trying to bring him in. And Spider-Man, after Frank gets away from him, calls an emergency meeting of the Avengers and says, I've had it. That's it. We need to do something about Castle. We need to do something about the Punisher because we're just letting a mass murderer go free and we're looking the other way. And Greg Rucka wrote this. What I found so fascinating was the character study of all the Avengers. Iron Man says, "You called me away from the ballet, from the theater for this." Thor he's a mortal that's beneath me. Black Widow says, "I thought he just killed bad guys. That's bad. That would be racist. I just thought Black Widow's where the black came from. But Black Widow says, "I thought he just killed
sorry.
black guys." Oh no, that's terrible. That would be bad. That would be the KKK.
I thought Chris was here for some reason.
Yeah, exactly. And then Cap says to Logan, "I noticed you didn't say anything." And he says, "Well, I don't think you wanted to hear what I had to say." And he goes, "Oh, right. What do you have to say?" He goes, "I just think some people need killing, whether they're black or white, evidently." So I just think that is great to see how the Avengers deal with this. And then Cap says, "You know what? He's right." And Spider-Man says, "And we can't just put him in jail. That's like sending him to Club Med. And we have to do something. We need a more permanent solution for Frank." And so they go after him, and they go after him individually. And, they don't have much success. Frank outsmarts them. And then the one guy that totally whoops him, Thor's going to drink with him and get Castle to do the honorable thing. And he tells Cap, "I saw him. I got him. We drank together." And Cap's like, "Great. Do you have him?" "Oh, he'll be in." No, he's not going to be in. So it's just fantastic. And ultimately, the Avengers, instead of one by one, they take him down, the whole team. And of course, how he gets Iron Man is just, fantastic too, how he punks Iron Man. But they take him down, and then there's a punishment for Castle that is just, for Castle, the most brutal punishment you can imagine. So it ends in just a really bleak place for him. And I just think it's an incredible read. And I don't think enough people know about it. It is so good. Punisher Warzone. It's like volume 3 of a book titled Warzone. It was a 5-issue mini. And here's another Italian name. Guadamenico, I guess, is the artist on it. Carmine di Guadamenico. And it is just fantastic. And I recommend everybody to check it out. If you're an Avengers fan, or if you're a Punisher fan, it is a great book. And that's
stuff.
the rest.
Good stuff. All right, Jamie, let me see. Get your card here. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here you go. Oh, that's your covers.
Yeah.
My bad. There you go.
Sweet. All right, so I'm going to start off with the first one now.
He's aiming at a black guy right now. Look at him.
Yeah. Oh, God. Chicago written all over it.
He's an ICE agent now.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a war zone here itself. But first one, Punisher Volume 2. Now, this is a 104-issue run.
Okay.
Don't have to read the whole thing. There's arcs in this that work for every aspect of the Punisher. I mean, from Jigsaw, Bullseye, Daredevil. There's just so much that goes into this series. It's incredible. Micro, and then Frank facing off against himself, which isn't himself. I definitely recommend checking out some arc of this. Not the entire thing if you don't want to, but I am actually proud of this run because this is the first run I actually completed at C2E2.
Well,
I bought the entire thing from there throughout the years.
that's the first time we've even mentioned Micro on this.
I love it. Micro was amazing in this.
I think so too.
I think he played a pivotal role the entire storyline up until the end.
Yeah, and in Fantastic Four, he played the Thing.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did.
The same actor.
I'm going to go to the last one real fast. This is Punisher 218. This is actually something we talked about earlier when he gets the War Machine armor.
Yeah.
I think if there's one change you could make to a character, this was the perfect change to make. You literally gave him unlimited ammo in armor that could fly.
Yeah.
Like he is the embodiment of what you would call a war machine at that point. Like there's no like, oh, I'm gonna hit him in the knee. No, I'm gonna light him up or explode him. One of the two. There's no in between. And the way he just stole it was fantastic. He's like, this is mine now. But the middle one, I talked about it the first time. I'm gonna talk about it again. We talk about a lot of comics here. We talk about likes, dislikes, but we really don't talk about how something can be just so stupid fun. And this series, Punisher, Doctor Strange, Magic Bullets, is just stupid fun. Literally, you don't think of a crossover that'll ever really work, and this one somehow does. And I did send Sal a page from it that I wanted to show.
Yep. Hang on. Let me pull that up here. But boom.
Yeah. In a blaze of glory, you have magic Uzis because Frank couldn't kill the villains with regular guns. So when he got Doctor Strange's cape, he literally was able to manifest magic bullets and magic guns to destroy the enemy.
Is that the one where he like turns the Hulk into dust?
Yes.
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 Yeah. It's just fantastic all the way around. It was just 4 issues of just nonstop things you would never think of fun.
Very cool. Do I need to go back to your card?
No, that was it.
Oh, that was your last one? Okay.
Yeah, but I love that series so much. Especially when he's like, I can't kill him with normal bullets aren't working, Strange. And he's like, well, I can help you.
That's cool. That was cool. All right. So for our next segment, it's going to be best writer and artist. Dan, why don't you go ahead and kick us off on that one?
All right. Well, the first time around, I picked Garth Ennis, and I like to pick someone different whenever we do a revisit. But I'll be honest with you, man. Like, he's had some good writers, Stephen Grant and Conway and Rucka and Jimmy Palmiotti. But I mean, let's face it, it's Garth Ennis. Garth Ennis is the quintessential Punisher writer for me in every way, in the fact that you got the violence, you've got the over-the-top kind of like absurdity with some of the stuff that, that goes along with what he does, but he also gets the grim, dark moments. He gets the psychology of it. Like, you look at stuff like Bourne and him like really getting in, in Frank's head. He's the Punisher writer for me. Artist-wise, the first time around, I picked Leandro Fernandez. As I said before, I loved the art that he did on that one arc. But for this time, I'm going to go a little more chalk, picking another artist. I'm going to say Steve Dillon. The stuff, and he worked with other writers on Punisher other than Ennis, but
like Aaron.
Yeah, but the team of him and Ennis together, but especially Dillon, the way he would draw the facial expressions, especially just amazing stuff. So
Dillon was great on Preacher.
And Dillon was great on everything that he did.
And another one that left us too early. I never had the opportunity to meet Dillon.
Yeah, way too early. So so those are my picks: Ennis and Fernandez and Dillon. And then I'll throw honorable mention in with Bradstreet for the covers, because the covers he did are they're fantastic. I think he even did a poster for the movie, the Thomas Jane one. I think he did one of the movie posters too.
Yeah, Bradstreet.
Punisher's at Sal's house.
Yeah,
I know.
Yep.
Power went out. Well, that's all right. All right. So, Uncle Gary, how about you?
All right. There's no other answer than Garth Ennis for writer. And Ennis, the Punisher in a lot of instances has a sneaky sense of humor too. Very dark, but he, sometimes he's really funny with the things he does and with the jabs that he gives, especially to the heroes. When he gets the best of them, he's just darkly funny. But the way Ennis writes him, as Dan said, you have those absurd moments of humor with just mind-boggling, violent acts that happen interspersed with it. It's
gallows humor.
Yeah,
it goes along with him being a soldier, because the guys that are in the shit, that's how they cope.
And so a lot of times we read Punisher by Ennis and we're ready for some of this absurd humor, but then he has arcs where there's no humor at all, where it's just straightforward, serious business, just bleak and dark, and it's almost surprising it's so dark, because like with the Russian, you're waiting for the dumb humor or the just ridiculousness of it, but some of it is just like the slavers, there's no joy there, or when the women, there was the arc where the mob wives who had had their husbands killed by Frank started coming after Frank. Yeah, there's no humor in those. It's just just brutal. But
he's got the right balance.
Yeah, he does. But like I said, sometimes he takes the humor out and it's just all dark. But he's my guy. For artists, the fella, I'm with you on Leandro Fernandez, but I think, and I really like, I like what Dylan did expression wise. Dylan's strength was the expressions that he would have on people's faces. But I think I want to give love to the artist who took over this character, and I believe really, really made him popular through his work, and that's Zek. I think Mike Zek's work on this character when he got his first miniseries vaulted the Punisher to a higher level. He wasn't just a random guy that would turn up in Spider-Man or Daredevil every now and then. It really, that had his war on crime and a cool origin. Zek's work made it something that everybody wanted a piece of and wanted to collect this character. So I think I will give him the artist nod for one reason, just because I believe it was his work that elevated the popularity of the character, to where he is, what he is now, because of that exposure that Zek and brought to it, and all the fans of the character that Zek brought in that became Punisher aficionados.
Very good. Very good. All right, Jamie, how about you?
Well, there is another writer that I think doesn't get enough credit, and that is Mike Barron. Especially that Volume 2 run. I think he portrayed Frank the best, especially with all, like we were talking about earlier, the callback to the war. Like, it can't get any better. It just encapsulated what Frank was. And artist, no surprise, I'm going with Dylan.
All right, very good. Very good. All right, for me, so last time I chose Ennis and Zek as my writer and artist, and I just could not circle away from those. So I chose Ennis and Zek again for my combo. I mean, their work is just phenomenal, and if I all the stories I've read with Ennis are just amazing, and Zek, like Gary said, put him on the map. So when I picture the Punisher, I picture Zek's Punisher, so that's how it is for me. I couldn't pick anybody else. There's a lot of good ones, but I just couldn't pick anybody over these two. So,
well, they're all valid, and there've been a ton of great writers and a ton of great artists, because everybody wants to do this character.
Yeah, yep, very true.
And hell, Jim Lee's my favorite artist, and we've done that twice, and I haven't picked him, and he had some good Punisher stuff, but there's just many good ones.
Willis Portacio, I believe is how you pronounce it. He was really good too. That was, there was an issue of Punisher I really loved where he was a substitute. He went undercover at a school and was a substitute teacher. And he was, and there was a kid that overdosed at the school, and it was just, he was trying to stop the drugs from flowing into the school. And that was a really good issue. And I remember that cover, what was so powerful, where he was holding the kid that OD'd.
Yep, very true. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this wraps up our Punisher Comic Character of the Week episode. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you for everybody in the comments. Yes, even you, Chris, your comments, we still appreciate them. Yes. They were hilarious, but we got to watch out for that monetization thing. Can't be X'd out. Anyhow, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you guys next week. I think I have my character picked out. I'm going to talk to the guys afterwards, so it'll be a surprise. So we'll see you guys next week. Don't forget to check us out on Saturday night. I know Gary's going to be out, but Dan, do you still plan to be on Saturday night?
We'll see where the day takes us.
Right. Listen, he's with Chris all day. I wouldn't count on it.
All right. That's very true.
That's tomorrow, not Saturday.
That's not Saturday.
That's right.
I don't know about Saturday yet. That all depends on him.
Well, look,
we'll talk about it.
You're with Chris tomorrow. that doesn't mean that there's not a hangover into Saturday.
That's true. That is so true. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you guys then next week for Comic Character